Hey, what's up, what's up, what's up? How you doing? How you been? What's going on? What's good? How you getting it in? Body getting it funny? What's going on, people?
We lost another legend. Jerry Lewis, a comedian, dies at 91 years old. Now, Jerry Lewis was a side-slapping, loving comedian, filmmaker, generous fundraiser for the Muscular Dystrophy Association. Died Sunday after a brief illness at the publicist Candi. He was 91 years old and would not elaborate as far as the illness from which Lewis was suffering. Now, Lewis gained fame for a frenzied comedian as far as music acts with singer Dean Martin. When that ended in the mid-1950s, Lewis went solo, and by the early 60s, he became a top draw as far as the movies such as The Bellboy, The Nutty Professor, and Patsy. Along the way, he pioneered to use videotapes and closed-circuit monitors in movie making, and now standard techniques called video assistant. Now, he first helped raise money for muscular dystrophy in the telethon back in 1956. He was so successful and so devoted to the cause of the children affected by this disease, he became known as Jerry Kids. Now, the telethon, long known as the Jerry Lewis MDA Telethon, began airing back on Labor Day weekend back in 1966. And Lewis served as a host until 2011. Despite his success, Lewis also was controversial figure as far as the number of people suffering from muscular dystrophy. Claimed Lewis present victim as a childhood as a worthy of pity rather than an equal member of society. Jerry lost some fans when he was criticized women doing comedy. I think of all the female comedians as producing the machines and bring babies into the world, he once said. And when he lashed at the MDA critics, you don't want to be pitied because you are crippled in a wheelchair. Stay in your house, he said in 2001. On the CBS morning show, he apologized when Jerry was one of the American leading box office attractions. Critics mocked him for broadness and his comedy and took more shots at him when he became renowned figure back in France in 1984. The French awarded Jerry the first Legion of Honor, the country's highest tribute. Now, he was emotional, big-hearted critic. One of the successful said he never wore a pair of socks twice. Proud and forever playing into the back row, he seldomly apologized. Let me tell you this, that probably 50% of the film's community plays a game and does their thing because their promoters are making a lot of money. And what they do is they give you a piece of the soul. And for them, you're comfortable. And they feel that's fine. He told Chin as far as Larry King back in 2000. It was never fun for me, and I wouldn't go there. I told legendary Hollywood gospel Colin Parson. I thought she was a big fat pig because I thought I had an opinion. The controversy of Jerry stirred up all over the years and did little to dampen his peers and successors' appreciation of his art. Now, several celebrities took to social media to share the sadness of his passing and said he was amazing talent, while Star Trek actors George thanked him for the laughs and the feels and stuff. I sincerely hope that afterlife is warm, peaceful, and heaven. An actor named Patton had wrote as well. Now, also, Jerry, he changed his name to his birth name was Joseph Levitch. He changed his name to Jerry Lewis as a teenager when he was born in Newark, New Jersey. Wow, he was born in Newark on March the 16th, 1926. Entertainment ran in the family. His father was a performer. His mother was a piano player. Jerry occasionally performed with his parents, and by the time he was a teenager, he had developed his own act. He was a regular New York City Catskill Mountains Resort's popular summertime retreat for area for Jews. But Jerry was also a lonely boy, essentially raised by his grandmother. Jerry told King that his comedy was rooted in hurt. I found the comic through pain, and the pain was that I couldn't buy milk like other kids in schools at recess time. He met Martin at a club in 1945. They was performing as soloists. The next year they promoted as far as a duo at Atlantic City and New Jersey. According to the show business lures, the first shows flatline, and the team was warned by the crowd manager to improve or they'll be fired for the second show. The two went wild and no holds barred mix of comedy and music, and it was a hit. Within 4 years, they were headlining and breaking records in New York City. Copacabana Club. Jerry later wrote that they set off Beatlemania types reaction among fans, especially female fans, long before the term Beatlemania was coined. Martin played the romantic, corny straight man, and Lewis was anything for laughs, a comedian of charros. But observers called them the organ grinder and the monkey. Wow. The acts often featured Martin chasing Lewis around the stage. They appeared on the very first show of the Ed Sullivan Show, then called Toast of the Town, and Screw negotiably controlled of various appearances, earning them millions. But over the course of the decade, a period of included 17 movies, beginning with 1949, My Friend Ira. The two grew apart. Towards the end, Martin told Jerry he was nothing to me but a dollar sign. Martin's last performance with Jerry also was in Copa, was back in July 25th in 1956. Despite the criminal breakup, the two eventually reconciled, and Jerry and James released a book in 2005. The title was explaining how Jerry saw the relationship with Dean and me, a love story. Upon the breakup, Martin expected to be greater success, and he was an established singer and was beginning to make inroads as a respected actor, including performances back in 1958 films The Young Lion, and So Coming Running with Sinatra, and whose Martin would become a longtime pal. Now, Jerry was on the road and considered a lightweight as far as a crowd-pleasing clown. His earlier solo films, such as The Dedicated Delinquent back in 1957, Rockabye Baby in 1958, made under a long-standing contract with the producer Hal Wallace, and were more at the same time. So basically, he did a lot within his whole time of living and stuff. This is a lot to read, and basically, like I said before, last year he was engaged in such a bizarre interview back in the Hollywood Reporter that the Republicans headlined that the most painful, awkward interview of 2016 was a video of exchange in which Sullivan Lewis rarely used more than 3 words to answer questions, went viral. He would also be so soft-touched that donating time and money to organizations such as the March of Dimes. Jerry had 6 children, 5 sons and a daughter by 2 wives. One son, Gary, became a lead singer in 1960 group Gary Lewis and the Playboys. Through all that, he never lost his outlook. I've had a great success being a total idiot, he once said, commenting both equals as far as self-deprecation. You're still 9 right, asked King of 2000. Oh yes, replied Jerry. I will cut your ties so nice us with a scissors. Wow, amazing. All this time he was with Dean Martin and they did all them shows and stuff. They didn't even get along, and basically he got along with Dean, but Dean didn't feel that way about him. Anyway, like I said before, Jerry Lewis, the comedian, dies at the age of 91 years old and stuff. You know, all I can say is rest in peace, and the family, you're in my prayers. And I love to hear feedback on this. I want to let you know I love you, and I want to thank you for watching. Castaway.